What's going on, conquistadors? It is Scotty the Chunky Spaniard, and welcome back to Round Like Me. And it's Sunday, and I apologize for the late upload, but I have been sick for a few days. 1 week back at school, and already got some sort of weird, like, half flu. It was just the achiness and everything else, but not like full blown. So I'm getting better, but that's why this is going to be uploaded later today. But it is Sunday, which means that it's time for Storytime Sunday. But regardless of how I feel, I am ready to share this story on a Storytime Sunday. And this story is one that I love to tell in class. I always share my stories with my students because there's almost always something to learn from it. And man, this one definitely does have some sort of a moral. The moral is basically there's consequences for your actions, even when you think you're doing something that is right. But this story is about bullying, and it's definitely a very, very hot topic. Bullying is more prevalent, I think more, is that right? More now than ever. Because there are more ways to bully, and I'm talking about social media and always being connected to the rest of the world. When I was growing up, no internet, in the 80s and early 90s. And so once you left school or your sports team or wherever things were happening, the park, your rec league, whatever you were doing, once you bailed from those places, you were home and you had this, what people would call now your safe space. And for some people, I understand it may not have been their safe space. But I'm primarily talking from my perspective at the moment. But once you got home, that was your sanctuary. You were cut off from the rest of the world. And if you were going to talk to somebody, you'd have to talk to them on the phone that was connected to a cord or wireless, but other people in your house could also probably get on the same line unless you had multiple lines in your house. And so now, because we are connected more than ever, there are more opportunities for bullies to find you, to continue the bullying pattern. If you are someone who has been bullied, because I think we've all been bullies, especially if we have siblings. We have all been bullies at times to different degrees, and we've all been bullied in one form or another. Every single one of us has been pushed around and bullied, and sometimes repeatedly or constantly, to the point where you really do break down. But if you are someone who is being bullied currently, you need to find someone you can talk to. You need to share what's going on so that people are made aware. The longer you sit in silence, the more bad stuff will be brewing in your brain. So please, 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 if you are being bullied, find someone you can talk to. Find someone close that you can talk to, someone that can help you solve your problem. Find someone you can talk to, a teacher, another trusted adult. You could even tell a police officer. I mean, you saw probably on the Keaton Jones video, Jim's story, and Jim is a police officer. And find someone that you can trust, someone that you can talk to. It could be a grandparent, someone that also is a little level-headed. Usually helps. That they're not going to either feed into your bad feelings or fly off the handle and do something that everyone's going to regret. So now, on to the story. This story takes place in sunny Vista, California. I lived on Hummingbird Lane when I was in junior high, my freshman year of high school, and there were a few houses on the hill, and we had avocados and lime trees surrounding us, and it was amazing. It was an amazing place to live, and it was a great time, I feel like, in my life. But I had a bully. Now, I think I had bullies because my best friend Noah and I, especially in junior high, we were the two smallest guys. Here's a picture of Noah and I at our graduation. I am the one in the white with the blue, and Noah has the little grayish sweater vest on. That is my buddy Noah, and that is me. That's us at our 8th grade graduation. Noah and I were the tiniest guys that I remember in the school. And we even had a bully, a mutual bully, that would come and pick on us. Because at lunch every day, we would eat real fast with everyone in this giant like courtyard area and then bail out to the fields and either play basketball or football. At the time it was like football, and we would always play football at lunch. And we had this bully named Jeff, and we dealt with him. Now, little sidebar, back when I was growing up, and this is late 80s, early 90s, this is right on the turn of that time period, you could deal with bullies in your own way, and we stood up to our bully. Nowadays, you stand up to your bully, especially the way we did it, and now you will get suspended. You will get suspended for sticking up for yourself. That's why I said try and find a trusted adult or someone you can talk to that can help you manage and handle the situation. Noah and I dealt with Jeff. He was pushing us around one day, and we just decided to push back. No one stopped us, no teachers yelled at us. They may have even seen what was going on, but we got tunnel vision. We were like, this is not happening again. Well, this bully that I'm going to talk about rode the bus home with me. He lived down the street. He lived in this really nice gated community down the road. And he was pretty snotty. His name was Ryan. And he had some older sisters. And we would pick up, the junior high would pick up the high schoolers and then ride the bus home. And we always knew once we got on the bus at the junior high, we kind of didn't sit in the back because that's where the high schoolers were going to want to sit. So we would kind of sit either in the middle or the front. And one day, it was swim PE. If any of you have ever experienced swim PE, we had my class had swim PE first period, like the very first period of the day, so it was always cold. But this kid, Ryan, who had always talked smack, had always said stuff, but I just ignored it. He could say whatever he wanted, that wasn't going to affect me. But on this particular day on the bus, Ryan thought it'd be a good idea to grab some of his sister's lipstick and walk up to the bus. Bus driver's not stopping him. No one's stopping this kid. He moves to the back of the bus with his high school sisters. He grabs one of their lipstick, walks all the way to the front, and they probably thought this was entertainment, but proceeds to start smearing lipstick on me while I'm sitting right in the front of the bus. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm not gonna do something that's gonna get myself in trouble, especially on the bus, but the bus driver isn't stopping him. So I just get my beach towel that I had been using for swim PE and I pull it over my head, and he just continues to smear lipstick all over this beach towel. I get home, I get in trouble for having lipstick all over my beach towel. So this continues as the week goes on. Monday, he's smearing lipstick on me. Tuesday, he's doing something else, and I don't remember because I probably tried to block it out of my brain. But it was a Wednesday or a Thursday, and nothing happened on the bus. I get off the bus. I start walking to my house, which is maybe a quarter of a mile down the road. And I have my backpack on, I got my saxophone case in my hand, and I start walking, and this kid gets off the bus, Ryan, and I'm already heading home. He yells, "Scott!" I'm like, what? I turn around. Next thing I know, I see this bottle of something flying at me. And the kid does not have good aim. He didn't play baseball in our league, or else I probably would have hit him with something. But he didn't. His aim was horrible, or maybe it was on purpose. But he shatters this glass, whatever it is. And I think people call it cover-up. It's like flesh tone makeup that covers blemishes. I think some people also call it concealer. I don't know makeup. I apologize. I call it cover-up. So this cover-up, and it splashes and explodes all over my brand new Reeboks. And I love my shoes. I love my shoes. I would go home every day. That was when Reebok and Nike were like rivals. And Fila was just coming onto the scene, and British Knights and things like that. But I had these brand new Reeboks that were supposed to rival Nike Airs. And they were white with blue like Reebok logos, and this makeup splashes all over the shoes. And you don't mess with my shoes. That's it. It's game on. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? So I just dropped my backpack. I dropped my saxophone. I started walking towards him. And then you could tell the shock on his face because he thought he was just going to get away with it because I hadn't done anything yet. I was like, he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, let's go. His sisters are all off to the side kind of watching. No cell phones filming any of this. Nothing like that. And we're standing, we're squared off. And my dad had always said, let the other guy throw the first punch. That doesn't matter anymore. I guess maybe back in the day, old school rules was like if he threw the first punch, then he would be the one that would get in trouble. But I was waiting for him to throw the first punch because I could hear my dad in my background. You let the other guy throw the first punch. Now, I had never really been in a true fist fight before. I had challenged a kid, and that's a story for another day, years before this. But I'd never been in a real fist fight. This is 7th grade. But I was ready to throw down because this guy messed with my shoes. He's been messing with me all this time. I reached my breaking point. I was done. It wasn't a battle of words. It was a battle of fists. Okay? And so I'm like this, and he's kind of like ready to go as well. And this guy in this white pickup truck drives up, rolls down, didn't have electric windows, rolls down his window, stops in the middle of the street, and goes, fight, fight, fight. And we both paused. It was like one of those weird moments in a movie where everything just freezes, and we both paused and we're like, are you serious right now? Is this guy really? And he saw that nothing was gonna happen while he was sitting there, so he was just like, whoa, forget it. And just drove off. So we're back to the fight. And I'm waiting for him to throw the first punch. And adrenaline's pumping, and you've got these your stomach's all nervous, and your brain is just cloudy. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. And so he takes a swing, and he hits me in the shoulder. Because of the adrenaline, I didn't even feel it. And I was just like, oh yeah. You give me in the shoulder, and while he's still going in the shoulder, I'm like, this is it. I know, he's throwing the first punch. Boom. I go like that across his face. No. And I hear this pop. And I'm like, yes! I'm just, oh! And like so fired up because it just connected right on that cheek. And it was so good. And that pop, I was just like, oh, his face is toast. Yeah! But then he does something that scares the heck out of me, because let me tell you this part. I thought there was an etiquette to fighting. Again, I know, I'd never been in a fist fight before. I thought he punches me, I punch him. He punches me, I punch him. Eventually, one of us is either gonna go down or give up. I didn't realize you could keep wailing on a guy. So he punched me, I sock him in the face, and I'm waiting for him to throw the next punch. So dumb. I know. I was so dumb. I should have just unleashed the fury of the tiny chunky Spaniard. At the time, not even chunky. Scrawny Spaniard. And so I'm waiting. But while I'm waiting, he gets down in this karate pose. He's like, whoa. I think I'm dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do now. If he throws a kick, or would you throw a kick? I don't know. But if he throws a kick, if he tries to kick me, if he tries to do some sort of like roundhouse, karate kid, crane, wah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so I'm waiting, and nothing's happening, and I'm waiting, and I kind of look at him, and then that's when he goes for the punch. I kind of let down for a second. And he punches me kind of in the stomach. Again, I didn't feel it. Didn't knock the wind out of me. And while he's down punching me in the stomach, I punch him right on the top of the head. Which is so stupid to punch the skull, but I was just, whatever I could hit, and I've had one headshot to the cheek, I get another headshot right to the crown of the head, right on top. And he kind of stumbles back, and then he's just standing there. I'm like, are we done? He's like, oh. I'm like, are we done? Have you had enough, kind of thing? Because he's not throwing another punch. I'm like, fine. I grab my backpack, I grab my saxophone, and I keep walking. I start walking. So as I'm about like an eighth home, because that's half of a quarter mile, right? I'm about eighth of a mile home. He starts like saying every bad word you could ever think of, because that's how you can taunt somebody in junior high. And he's just like, he's like scat singing. And I turn around like, you want some more of this? You want some more of this? And he's like, he's quiet. And I'm like, that's right. That's right. You just got beat up by this little scrawny guy. And so I turn around to walk home. I can feel him still staring at me. And I can feel my hand starting to hurt, my right hand. And I'm like, man, what is going on? Now, luckily, I'm left-handed when it comes to school and everything else. But I had swung with that right hand, and it was hurting. But I couldn't you can't let your enemy see that your hand is hurting. You can't. So I just switched the saxophone to the left, like, my arm's tired. I keep walking, and as I turn the corner to start going up my hill, I kind of look, and he's walking back into the gated community with his sisters, his little protectors. And I get up the hill, just a little past this one house where these high school girls that I thought were very attractive lived, and I didn't want them to see me, because in junior high you think everybody's watching all the time, and they probably had no idea I was even walking home. But I get past their house, and I drop my saxophone in the middle of the street. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. What is wrong with my hand? And it's swelling up. The hand is swelling up. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. I punched the guy pretty hard. I heard a pop. His face popped. So I get home, walk down my long driveway in my house, down through the little breezeway into the house. And my mom's like, hey, sweetheart, how's your day? What do you want for a snack? Like she always did. And I was like, oh, it's okay, you know. Had PE, swim PE, and, you know, got in a fight and did this and try to slide that in there. She's like, you what? You what? I'm like, yeah, Ryan. I punched Ryan. We got in a fight. Look at my shoes. He threw this stuff all over my shoes, this makeup. I couldn't handle it anymore. It was done. She's like, okay, well, we got to put some ice on this hand. So she gets a stainless steel bowl, fills it to the brim with ice, and then pours water in it. Like the ultimate painful ice bath. So I put my hand in there. I do all my homework at the kitchen table because I can write, and the swelling's not going down. So she's like, we're gonna have to go to the doctor. We're gonna have to tell your dad. All right. So my dad is away at a business trip, and I think he was in Las Vegas at the airport, like in between where he was going, and I had to tell him. Got screamed at on the phone because I got in a fight, even though I was thinking he's gonna be so proud of me. We go to the doctor. The doctor's like, yeah, you broke your knuckle. You need to learn how to fight, kid. I'm like, what doctor says you need to learn how to fight? You need to take some boxing class. You need to learn how to fight. So he said that I was eventually going to lose my knuckle. I didn't. And he said, we're going to have to set the bone. I went green. I was, before that, I was like quoting In Living Color quotes. I was pretending I was Mike Tyson and having the nurses and the doctor cracking up. And then he's like, we have to set the bone. And I just got so sick to my stomach, almost passed out. So the next day, I have my little gutter splint. Next day at school, I'm a hero. Somehow, without social media, without text messaging and Instagram and Snapchat and everything else, I walk onto campus and it was like a hero's welcome. Like I had just come back from war. Like everybody's like, dude, I heard you like punch Ryan in the face. Good job, man. I didn't realize he was such a bully to everyone else. Now, I'm not saying go punch your bully in the face so that you can have a hero's welcome at school. It sounds glorious. It felt glorious, to be honest. It felt great, even though I had the broken hand. I didn't get called into the office. We didn't get a call from his parents. They didn't say, we're going to sue you for assault. We didn't do it. Nothing. He was a bully. I punched him in the face. Apparently he was bullying a ton of other people because everybody was so stoked on the fact that even though I broke my hand on his face, I had stood up to him. But then the real repercussions came. I realized I had to miss basketball season that year. I then realized I was going to have to miss our trip to Wild Rivers, which was our water park that Irvine used to have. We would drive all the way from Vista up to Irvine and go to Wild Rivers. And I was going to also have to miss the first half, if not all, of baseball season. I mean, there were so many other repercussions because of me just simply standing up to this bully, punching him in the face, breaking my hand. Did I face my own personal repercussions? Yes. So there are consequences for our actions. I chose to stand up to the bully. As a result, I had to miss a lot of big events. Looking back on it, would I do it again? Probably. I think I would have, because the tormenting and the bullying would have gotten worse. But at the time, I was really bummed. I was really bummed with myself, and my parents were disappointed in me, and you know, all of these things. But I learned how to have a voice. I learned how to be like, that's enough, you know? Enough is enough, man. I've had it. Now, you can't go fighting people, so please hear me. You can't go fight people just because they look at you weird or they say something negative. You know, there's rude and negative comments, and then there's bullying. But if someone is physically bullying you, verbally bullying you, whatever, you need to tell somebody. You can't take these matters into your own hands anymore because there are so many more problems that could arise from this other than missing a basketball season, a baseball season, and a trip to the water slide park. But repercussions now are much greater. So please, 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 if you are being bullied, tell someone so that it can be taken care of in a way that's not going to get you hurt even further. But yeah, bullies, man, it was so much easier to deal with bullies back then. You sock them in the face. And they didn't get like all their brothers and sisters to come after you and make comments to you on Instagram and things like that. It was one and done, like problem solved. Gosh, I really do. As you get older, you feel like such an old person. Makes sense, right? But you're like, my parents and my grandparents used to tell these stories and these kind of stories, and now you're looking back at like, man, life was so much simpler when I was a kid. I think everybody says that because technology and things keep changing. But that's it. That's the Storytime Sunday. How I dealt with the bully. I broke my hand on the guy's face. Why did I do it? Because the kid was a punk. Did he deserve it? 100%. Would he do it again? Yep. Can you do it nowadays? No, you cannot. So if you have a bully, if you have a problem with anyone, you need to tell someone, a trusted adult, a police officer, someone on your campus, a trusted family member, but someone who's going to keep a level head and go about things the right way. Because nowadays, you can get in a lot more trouble than just a broken hand. So, learn from my mistakes, my friends. Take some boxing classes. Don't punch sideways and get a boxer's fracture. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It's way more animated when I'm standing up and telling my class this story. But thank you, as always, for coming back. New subscribers, thank you for sticking around if you've stuck around this long in the video. And remember, Conquistadors, to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. Because there's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Even for bullies. They can improve. They can be better. So, try and help them out. Send them towards my videos. Be like, hey, listen to this guy. This is what you are to me. And unfortunately, I can't break my hand on your face. Oh. But I'll see you Tuesday for a new Tunes on a Tuesday. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel on these Tunes on a Tuesdays for dog things. But you gotta stick with it. And be good people. Please, be good people. Don't be a bully. And if you are being bullied, tell someone. Until next time, Conquistadors, I'll see you later.